Well, hello, and welcome to After the Show. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis, coming to you from another hotel room. This time I'm in Plano, Dallas, Texas. One of those, I think it's Plano. I'm here for a mastermind that I'm in. I am such a believer of learning from other people and being in communities, and that's exactly why I created a mastermind for retailers. So I'm here. I'm on my way to go into a meeting very soon, but I had to get this episode out and talk about Ginny. Oh my gosh, I hope you loved that episode that dropped this week. If you haven't listened, as always, go listen to that. Ginny is super rooted in retail, has a lot of retail experience, and something that you can tell she's really a pro at, like I feel like kind of her superpower is really getting inside of her customer's head. And she talked about that in our episode. And so that's exactly what I wanted to go deeper on in today's After the Show, on some specific ways that you can get inside of your customer's head, because this is critical to your success. Just because you love something doesn't necessarily mean what your customer loves. And the whole experience, I say this all the time, it's really hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. So it's really hard to know that experience within your store because you're in your store all the time. So a couple of these tactics I'm going to give you today are going to help you kind of step outside of the store and step into a new persona, your customer's persona, to really give you some insight on your store. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what's called the 3-second rule. So this is where I challenge you to do this week, maybe even today. And I want you to go outside of your store, and then I want you to walk into your store, and then you take 3 seconds. March 12th is when we stop selling tickets to Evolve. Here is what you're going to get when you go to this conference. You're going to learn how to become a destination business where people are seeking you out and driving maybe even a couple of hours to come see you. You're going to learn how to work less and make more. We have several topics on this. This is about systems. It's about structure. It's about what's working today. You're going to hear from a very successful retailer who has figured this out. You're going to learn how to get customers to come in more often. This is a challenge, getting people to come in again and again and again versus just one time. We're going to teach you how to grow loyalty. You're also going to learn how to grow your online visibility. And this is so important, whether you're an in-person brick and mortar store or online or both. There are so many things you can do to really grow. And I want this to be your year where you're really standing out online and people are easily finding you. I have had multiple retailers say that this event is life-changing. This is a business conference, but it can absolutely have such a big impact on your life and your team. This could be the difference between having an okay year or maybe kind of a down year to having an exceptional year. I want this to be your best year ever. And the sessions that we have Evolve is going to help get you there. Some logistics in your ticket price. It includes 3 nights stay at the beautiful Gaylord Rockies where the event is held. You also are getting the replays to all the sessions as well. You'll get those sent with you so you and your team could go and revisit those as well. You get networking time with the speakers, time with me. This is the event of the year that you do not want to miss. So go to rootedinretail.com/evolve. Use the code ROOTED to save some money on your ticket just by being a listener, and make the investment in yourself and in your business. It's too important not to miss this. All right, I'll see you in the room. So just initially when you walk in, like you kind of have to be, I'm in the mindset of my customer. Who are they? Are they busy? Is this a fun shopping trip? Are they on a mission? Are they busy? Are they a mom? Do they have kids? What are they on a mission to buy something very specific, a gift? Are they proposing? Like all the things, right? Dog food, depending on like what you sell. Kind of be in that state of a customer. Think of them. And I want you to walk into the door and I want you to take 3 seconds and just sort of look around. And then I want you to just start writing down, like describe what you saw, what you felt, what you heard, what you smelled. Okay, we want to use all of our senses here. So pay attention to lighting, pay attention to the music, pay attention to any scents. Pay attention to just what are the specifics, like signage that you might see, the products you're seeing first. Like, what is that initial 3-second experience? I kind of think of this similarly to social media, where those first 3 seconds of a video can make or break that video. Like, you really want to be engaging and have that hook and get people to continue to watch. Similarly, for your store, we want people to come in, and within that first 3 seconds, are they having the experience that really is connected to our brand? And what are they feeling? What are they seeing? What is their perception? This is a really good way for you to step into, their minds a little bit. And you can do this and go throughout the store in these like 3 seconds. And then it's almost like you need to be carrying a journal with you or voice notes and just kind of writing those things down. What are the first things that pop out? We're not analyzing. It's just this initial, like, what am I seeing in the first 3 seconds? Then I want you to, and this maybe happens the same day or maybe a different day, but I want you to kind of like do a walk in their shoes. Like, okay, now I'm really going to put myself into my perfect customer. What is, like, I would take a very popular customer, your biggest customer group. I'm going to use pet stores. And if they're going in to buy dog food, like, you've got your staple people who every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks are coming in to buy their dog food. So you're going to be that person and you're going to walk in the shoes of that person. And, this is a repeat customer and they know where the dog food is. So what is that experience as if I'm just coming in to buy the dog food? What other things? What am I hearing? What am I seeing? How am I feeling? What other products? How am I being greeted? What are the signage? What is the signage saying? Like, we're really looking at the entire experience. Now, why this is going more in depth than the 3 second, because 3 seconds just initial, like what pops up, what's that initial feeling? The walking in the shoes is we're getting really deep on that persona. And we're entering with a goal. So like I said, the pet food, we're getting the dog food for the pet store. Then I want you to take some notes on any kind of friction points you might have. So it makes me think of, there's been times where I've been in a pet store and I'm trying to get to the dog food, but I've had to like weave through different places because there were people in the way, there were things in the way. So I had to weave through. Of course, the dog food's always in the back because they want me to go through the whole store so I can look at everything while I'm getting my dog food. But I want you to really pay attention to any friction points, things that are physically in your way, things that are confusing. If it is a new person, is it easy for them to find the dog food? Like, how are you helping them and directing them? If there's any point where they might feel overwhelmed by, the selections and all the things, or trying to get somewhere, maybe it's just not even that engaging for them. Like, try to write down those friction points. So this is where we're becoming a little bit more of like a detective versus that instant gratification. And actually, I'm going to go deeper on this in our Unreasonable Hospitality training, where in that training, we interrogate the customer journey. And so that's what you're doing when you're walking in the shoes. As you become a persona, you have a goal in mind, you enter the store and you're interrogating everything that you're seeing. And just really, in this, specific case, we're looking for friction points and we're writing those things down. Then I want you to also look for emotional touch points. Are there any things, like maybe, again, with the pet store, there's something from an adoption perspective, or, really sweet picture with the pet parent and the pet. And it's titled that, like picture with your son or daughter, your furry kid, something that kind of like is really sweet, a really sweet looking picture. Is there a way that we can tie in the emotional side of this? We're just taking notes. And I think that this could be great for team members to do. You could divide and conquer. You could be different personas and really start interrogating that customer journey. Now, ideally, you do that Unreasonable Hospitality training with me, because we're going to go a lot deeper in this framework. Like, this is a part of it, but there's a whole framework on how you then take all those touch points and then you decide if they're negative touch points, if they're positive touch points, if they're just, average, like underrate or just like a zero. We're assigning numbers to these touch points, and then how we elevate them, what we do different, how we can really be memorable. So I take you through that whole framework. It's inside of our mastermind, and we're starting that framework in April. So, I mean, I've been kind of secretively talking about the mastermind. You've heard a few ads here probably on the show, but I've just been like kind of in there softly launching it, working with our members. We do calls with me. It's been super fun. And so you should join us for that unreasonable hospitality training. This is a training that is epic. And I haven't done a live training in a long time. I also haven't done these Q&A calls in like almost a decade. So if you want access to this training, to me, to the community, go to rootedinretail.com/mastermind. I would love to see you in there. Okay, so we are doing the 3-second rule. We are walking in their shoes. And then the final thing, I'm such a believer of surveys. And I would just ask you, like, when's the last time that you did a survey? When have you talked to your customers? You could do very simple things like an Instagram story and do a poll and start getting into their head a little bit. What products do they want to buy? What are they searching for? Where else do they shop? Kind of getting to know them from like a product standpoint. You could do that. You could send out an email and ask very simple. I really wouldn't do more than 5 questions, but ideally you're doing like 3. What are 3 really powerful questions that you could ask your customers that will really help you understand and be in their head? And so I think this is where you could use AI, and you could go to Claude or ChatGPT and say, I'm this type of store. I really want to understand my customers. I want to be inside their head. Give me 3 really powerful questions that I could send through an email survey to help me better understand the needs of my customers. And you can position this to be more about your store. So this could be like, what products do you wish we had? What do you think that we're missing? What do you love? Do you attend our events? Like, it could be kind of store related and you're getting that feedback from them, or you could send a couple of surveys and get to know them better. Just like one of my favorite questions is, what keeps you up at night? That's a way to get inside of people's heads. And look, some of these you might not be able to help support them, but some you might. You might find an opportunity where a lot of your customers are struggling with the same thing at night. Like, they're really worried about blank. And so you decide that you're going to do this like stress-free, come to this event. If you've been worried about blank, well, you need to come to this event because we are going to melt away the worry for 2 hours. Like, maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe people are like really worried about their finances. And a lot of your customers say that. So let's say you're a jeweler, but you're going to bring in maybe a financial planner into the store and do 10 for 10 people. I mean, honestly, you could just reach out to the people that had that comment on the survey. You don't even have to do a full launch for this. And it could just be like, hey, we're going to do this little pop-up. A lot of you said that you need help. So we're putting this on for you. And it's free to attend, or it's $5, or you get a gift certificate, however you want to position this. And then you could invite people in to really help that worry, where you're meeting them where they are. And you might think like, people probably aren't going to buy during that event. That's fine. People could come in and learn from the financial advisor, not buy a thing, but the fact that you provided that kind of support for them and really listen to their needs and their challenges and their worries and are there for them is next level customer service and experiences. And we all know that that's the brick and mortar's superpower, is the experience and customer experience and service. So that's another example where you're doing a survey. It could be specific about the store or specific about their needs. Another one of my favorite questions is, if you had a magic wand, what is one wish you would ask for? Now, I would be specific in the wishing. So say like, what's one wish you could ask for our store? What if you had a magic wand and you waved it and you said, I want this store to carry blank, or I wish my life had blank, or I wish my house had blank, or I wish my closet had blank, or I struggle the most with blank with my dog. Like, fill in the blank. AI can help you if you're really stuck on these questions, but these are opportunities for you to get in the head of your customer. And I couldn't agree with Ginny more. This is so critical for you to do. So do the 3-second rule, do the walking in the shoes, interrogate that customer journey and send those surveys, and then join Mastermind and go through this whole framework with me so we can really elevate the experience and really continue to get more inside of their head and provide something that they love, that they tell their friends about, that they visit. You build your loyalty. There's a lot of pluses when you are inside of the customer's head and you're actually acting on it. So go out there, be detectives, get in their heads. And I hope that you loved Ginny's episode. I loved it. She's amazing. I hope you take action on what you learned here today. And remember that I'm rooting for your success. Have a great week ahead. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Rooted in Retail. It means the world to me. A big favor, if you're loving the show, if you could go and leave a review. If you are an Apple listener, you can also leave a comment on Spotify if you listen that way, but that would mean the world to me. And if you're loving these conversations and you want to go deeper, then consider joining us in the Mastermind. That's where you can have conversations with me, other community members, as well as speakers and guests that you've seen on this show. So go to rootedinretail.com/mastermind to learn more.